I literally tweeted, "It's Pokemon, nuff said." There we go. Brilliant tweet from, you know, the greatest mind alive. I don't know. I'm the most humble person out there. I don't know how to go with this. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. It is the Biendeo stream today on this fine 26th of January 2026. Sup Freddy, sup Lub, happy Australia Day. I hope you've had a wonderful week. We'll have a wonderful week ahead of you. Let's dive into today's game while I guess I talk about, what topics do we have today? Who knows? It's been a hot while since I've... Whoop. Give us an audio. There you go. It is Australia Day. It's also India's, I think, Republic Day or something. It just so happens to be on the exact same day. But we came up with it first. They didn't do it until 1950, so they're just copying us on this one. The Mario Galaxy movie trailer, exactly. There's probably a bunch of other things that happened on the 26th of January. But yeah, this is Pokémon Colosseum for the Nintendo GameCube. It's been a hot while since I've played this one. It also is slightly narrower than 4x3. You're gonna have to bear with the weird pillar boxing. It's a little weird. I don't know what's up with it. But yeah, Pokémon Colosseum. I cannot explain the I guess the sales pitch. What was the Pokemon company exactly thinking? They were spamming out Pokemon games. Yeah, this was a weird one. I mean, you had to have a GameCube, and I know the GameCube wasn't as big as the PS2, so that probably did cop a lot of people on that one. And also, don't look at retro game prices, because this one and Pokemon XD are just bizarrely scalped after. I mean, it's Pokemon, you get why, but PC games and the Game Boy. I mean, that's why handhelds were a thing as well, is that they're much more accessible. You don't have to dedicate a TV to it. But yeah, Pokemon Colosseum is technically a full-ish Pokemon RPG on a console. They did 2 of these. They did one 18 months later as well, also on the GameCube. And they've never done a main Pokemon RPG on a console up until we kind of got Sword and Shield on the Switch, really, which was 15 years after this. Partially, this was touted as a battle kind of simulator game, similar to Pokemon Stadium had this feature where, you know, it was a nice way to kind of, you know, televise a Pokemon battle, but unlike Pokemon Stadium, it's got a real story mode in there. So we're going to play the story mode. It's not a battle royale, unfortunately. We got just enough letters. Just enough. So I can slap my name in there. There you go. Well, we've got just enough letters in most Pokemon games, don't we? So we start off with an FMV sequence because we're gonna put all the effort in an FMV sequence. I mean, you could do FMVs on the GameCube, no sweat, but you gotta use them a bit sparingly. I will say, and it's been a long time coming, I've finished Xenosaga 3 as of 2 hours ago. This is Arizona. I misread that as Australia just then. I was like, same. None of it's in dialogue. It honestly kind of seems like they animated the cutscene and then told the sound guy just do what you need to do to make this work. And there he goes. Terrorism, yeah! Everybody loves it! Oh gosh, I said that 4 minutes into the broadcast. Sorry, YouTube advertisers. It's Pokemon, what can I say? But yeah, we'll get into the gist of what makes Pokemon Colosseum a weird one, but I guess if you're playing various Pokemon games in a chronological order, you're probably going to come across this one. Hi. Is my controller going to do anything? Or no, I've got to be... okay. I was like, hold on, like, do I have to be focused? I think I don't have background input on, so we're gonna wing it on this one. I keep clicking off so I can click things on the other monitor and have some news.
Fwah! We sure picked out, eh? I love chowing down after a job. It adds to the flavor, I swear.
Yeah, and we bagged ourselves a great big catch too. Boss will be sure to fix us up good with big rewards too. It doesn't get any better than this.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean, up until this point, all the Pokemon games were just based on some part of Japan, really. I like how you can technically try and wander off after them, and then the game will go, you don't know anywhere. You don't know anywhere. You couldn't go anywhere. So, yeah, unlike many other Pokemon games, we got a funny, well, actually, maybe like all of them, we got a funny walk cycle. Your inventory is quite lean, although you are equipped with quite a bunch of items right off the bat. Like, look at that. Super potions already? Jeez. Phoenix, Arizona. You got this PDA, which does this whooshy whoosh effect. That's my ID number if you want to, snag list or spoilers. No emails, so. Isn't it weird how many games have emails, like, of this time? Also me playing Xenosaga, but more into that in a bit. And you start off with an Umbreon and an Espeon, which, have a curious, fairly good moveset. You got Helping Hand, you got Confusion, and, Bite are solid attacks for, level 25, that's alright. But yeah, let's continue on. Let's wander into here. Recently I saw a meme.
I saw a meme. Says it all.
Authorities have made a stunning announcement on the mysterious building that exploded in Echo Canyon. It was Team Snag'em's hideout. Team Snag'em is a gang of Pokemon abductors who have already been marked for arrest. The hideout was discovered only as a result of the explosion. By the time police arrived, the ruined building had already been abandoned. The cause of the explosion is under investigation. It should become apparent eventually.
Okay. Espeon, and a picture of Espeon on a brown truck. Espionage, nice. Hey, do you know about Team Snag'em? Yeah. They're seriously nasty lot. There's no telling how many trainers have suffered at their hands. Oh, so this guy's
I haven't seen your face around these parts. A traveler, huh? Not that it matters any. I don't know where you might have come from. But relax, stick a while.
around a while. Oh my gosh.
There's no forgiving that Team Snag'em. They don't deserve it. Not when they steal Pokemon from trainers. Why, I'd give a hip hip hooray if they were wiped out with their record hideout.
There's no forgiving the Team Snag'em. They don't deserve it. Not when they steal Pokemon from trainers.
Oh, wait, hold on. You're the same person. Who was I talking to? You know what? I don't quite understand. But having your hideout blow up on you, crime doesn't pay, I guess. I live a crime-free life, so nothing's going to blow up on me. Wah! You're a Pokemon trainer too, aren't you?
I can tell, and you're good. I can see it in your eyes. I bet your Pokemon are impressive too. If the opportunity ever arises, I'd like to have a battle with you. Though I doubt I'd have any chance of beating you.
I mean, this came out in 2004, which is, you know, kind of the brilliant year of you know, we're at the end of this console cycle because we got the Xbox 360 coming out in about a year's time, and although I think this was maybe near the beginning of 2004, but then you'd get games like Doom 3 and Half-Life 2, which obviously are much more you know, they're on more technically capable systems, or in particular the PC, and then sort of scaled down for the Xbox version.
My name's Willy. After I got a good look at you, well, I got this urge to battle you. It's like I'm compelled to. Any way I look at it, it's obvious that you're no ordinary Joe. So what do you say? Let's you and me have a quick battle.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Alright, over here this way. Okay, sure. Jeez, man. The pain of being a Pokemon game protagonist. I'm burning now, I'm on fire, it's full throttle time. Vroom, vroom, let's roll. Jeez, bro. Jeez, calm down. And then, yeah, we go into a battle. Now, Pokémon Colosseum I don't really think has any different rules to regular third-gen Pokemon. In fact, this guy, you know, brilliant team variety. But the main thing that you'll notice with this game, and it's what makes it really stand out, is the entire game is double battles. It really plays into this mechanic quite well, which I love. So your key strat, if you want to play fairly in tandem, is to leverage Helping Hand. I believe Helping Hand was it do. It gives you 50% of the damage, 50% of the power on other Pokemon. I think maybe the calculation's different, but it means this guy's attack is very strong, which will often one-hit kill the Zigzagoon, because Zigzagoon is a bit of a weakling Pokemon. Never mind as well, Espeon and Umbreon are actually, like, fairly solid Pokemon. Umbreon's a bit here and there. I'm never the biggest fan of Umbreon in these earlier games, but Espeon, darn good. And it's all about the synergy. It's all about, can you get two Pokemon that work well with each other, or at the very least, just, you know, you're doing things right. You're dealing the damage when you need to. Listen, you don't even need Helping Hand to beat this guy, jeez. Listen, oh yeah. The only thing I'd rip on this game is a handful of the Pokemon models are taken out of Pokemon Stadium. You'll never see that with the 3rd gen Pokemon, but you might see it with like some weird ones. Maybe you won't even see it in the main game itself, because there's only a handful of Pokemon that they actually do use for this main campaign mode. But yeah, if you play the other mode, it's like, you know, technically any Pokemon can show up, and they took a bit of a shortcut on getting all 386 in there. So now we can go to Fennec City. You know, Fennec City. What's a Fennec? I don't know. But it's a nice place. It's got waterfalls everywhere. Where does the water go to? I'll never know. Fennec Phoenix. Exactly.
Hey, what are you doing? Get a grip, man.
Yeah, you say that, but it won't stop squirming. Makes it tough to hold on. Okay, settle down in there. Just be quiet for a little while longer.
Someone let me out, kidnappers.
The tape didn't keep a yap shut. Quit your shouting.
Oh, drat, did that punk there hear all that?
Bonk. Now this is Origin, exactly.
Since you overheard us, we don't have any choice. Blame it on your own bad luck.
Okay, and now you're straight in with another battle against this folly man. But he's got a Whismur, you know, and a Whismur. Great Pokemon. Probably a bit more scarier than the Zigzagoon, but only like one notch above. There's not that many that are in between. So I don't know, man. Let's just try and knock them both out. See what happens. But yeah, no, I do like the animations of this game, and certainly how its presentation goes. Although you might complain that maybe things can take too long at times. You know, you don't have a way to turn off battle animations or speed them up like you did in or I guess you do in the handheld games. What was really weird is that I knew of Pokemon Stadium, and Pokemon was generally it was an emerging franchise when I was younger. But then, yeah, like, you know, we're probably around the same age, yeah. But it's especially when you saw this, I thought this was going to be the trajectory, was that they're going to have these console-based games, and then they ended up having only Pokemon Battle Revolution on the Wii, which was back to Stadium, except without the mini-games. It was very much just a battle. There's the bot. And then they never did any others later in the Wii generation. They didn't do any on the Wii U, really.
You took out my Whismur. You're no ordinary trainer, are you? Oh, wait a sec, that face. Might you be Team Snag'ems?
What's going on out here? Yeah, somebody, robbers, they're robbers.
You be quiet, we're no robbers, we're kidnappers, get it? Kidnappers.
With you dingbat, don't shut up your mouth. Don't get all happy just on account of winning this once. The next time we meet, I'll trash you, your Pokemon and all.
Oh yuck, there's someone inside there. It's all tied, good and tight. Can you believe these people? What a horrible thing to do. I'm just gonna wander off here. Please, we need your help. Nah. Can you get this rubber tuck from the other side? Yeah, well, yeah, the other one saw what was happening there. Oh my goodness, they stole a redhead. Where is this? Where did those two bring me? This is Fennec City, the opulent city of water. This person saved you from those thugs. The way he battled those goons, it was truly superb. I wish you could have seen it.
Oh, that's so, thank you. And
So your name Biendeo? I am. You gotta come up with a name for this character. I guess Rui is often the canonical name because it's the first one here. But obviously we gotta do a funny name, don't we? Yeah. I don't have a good idea for a funny name though. I should have thought of this ahead of time. Nah, man, I'm gonna misread that all the time. You know me. I'm gonna call every character a male character at that point. Poop. We can't be as obvious as Poop though. No, she's not a rival, though. She's not a rival, so... Not poop, I guess. Let's see. I don't know. She's a redhead, so we got to do something about the redheadness. Let's see. It's oddly quiet, isn't it? There's no music going on here. Misty. Misty, no, but you know, I was thinking very redhead name. Freaking Muriel. Muriel. Muriel is such an out of style name, I swear. My name's Muriel. I'm so glad I met you. I was in the neighboring town when those two grabbed me. Oh, those guys, did they use a peculiar Pokemon? A peculiar Pokemon? No, they looked ordinary to me. What do you mean by peculiar Pokemon? Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a bunch of... yeah, well, she's got grey hair, though. You should go see our mayor. He's a very kindly person. Oh, I love it when people love their politicians. Sure happens a lot. She's got grey hair now. That is true.
I know I'm imposing, but I don't have anyone else I can turn to. Please, can I get you to score me?
No!
Oh, but those men might come back.
What am I, Chugga Connery all of a sudden now? I'm like, yeah, I know. I haven't watched his Colosseum Let's Play. I mean, it'd be a while ago. He's nailed so many games now. He's nailed so many games, he's now playing not, like, Nintendo games anymore. That's how long it's been taking. You can technically leave if you want to, but, again, it's like, well, where are we gonna go, you know? So... That truck here is gone. Those thugs must have come back and taken it. That's so weird how they just leave like that. I know there's a few things we can see. Everyone calls them goons, which is very curious. I love that they always call this the PC, as in the Pokemon Center, but I always think of it as like the personal computer, especially when they have a personal computer in the Pokemon Center. Like right here. Check it out. We have item storage if you're the kind of person who loves only carrying so many items, which I don't really think is that common in this game. You really can't do too much. You do have a box, but I believe it... I actually think it is only 3 boxes, because there's really only so many... Oh, yeah. We've ruined the term goon. Also, did you notice save right there? That's because saving anywhere is not a thing. You have to save at a computer, which is a very weird thing. I can't really explain it. It's not a problem in the sequel. Can't say minion. Oh, true. Snagged. Exactly. Oh yeah, Pokemon Center rules. Just pop your Pokemon on the thingy and ding 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 ding. They're all healed. Mooks. Grunts. Hey, big guy, look, this is really neat. See, it's a map of Fennec City. Isn't it cool? That is a map of Fennec City. Wow. You Pokemon trade? Nah. Is that so? But you don't look like ordinary travelers to me. No. Yeah, XD came out after this one. Look at that, there's another one down here. I'm still getting things ready. Also, she got stuck. She's technically meant to come down. It was a bit stuck there. Pretty much. I mean, it was really just like those two, and then obviously, yeah, the stadium games. Things have become convenient, says the game. Yeah, I'd probably count Legends Arceus as like the proper like spin-off title. And then obviously we got Legends ZA, which has come back, but yeah, now Fennec City is a nice calm place. I don't really think there's too much to see, I think. This guy does have a battle though, I guess. We can indeed battle him. He's a fun old man though. He's fun and old. And he's got a Sentret. How cool is that? Now I'm gonna try my best as well. We're gonna be aggressive in this one, and we're gonna try and catch them all, because this game is filled with missable catches. We haven't gotten into the catching just yet. In general, yeah, I'm excited. Oh, today, like, oh, now you mention it, my day is ruined. How could you? But nah, Highguard, I don't have that many thoughts about it because honestly, a game that I feel like is gonna flop generally is one that I don't have many thoughts on. Listen, when the Game Awards happened, they showed off. I said, "Oh, looks okay, looks fine." You know, people want a hero shooter. I guess it's been a while, maybe since the last one. I mean, if you think like how long, you know. I guess the thing is that like games these days get milked ad infinitum, but I remember when TF2 had come out and then it had been like kind of 2011 or so, and it's like, yeah, you know, why isn't it weird that there's not that many games that are hero shooters? I'll mention that one in a moment. We don't have a lot of like, you know, these class-based team games, and you get ones that kind of have classes. I think everyone remembers Brink. Does this guy won another fight? Nah, he must break a lot of hearts. But then I remember when Overwatch started to really like pick up steam and it was like, this would be it. This is the TF2 successor. And it was for a bit. And then they ruined it. But I can't fit in there. But it kind of was for a bit. And now it's like, man, it's been 10 years since Overwatch.
I want to watch anime, but they're showing the news.
It's a repeat of an earlier story. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen a news broadcast where they just hold a mic like that. At least in the studio. Listen, it's a screen of a screen. That's how blurry it is. Overwatch 2. Yeah, exactly. I do lament the poor handling of Overwatch over its time. Because I feel like Overwatch as it released should exist just on its own. It should have existed as it is. But yeah, Highguard, I mean, it's got mounts, it's got hero shooter. Who knows how it'll be. But given that Concord came and went, I think certainly Highguard is like, well, we're gonna have to just do it. We're gonna have to just come out and see what we're doing here. Side note as well, I love like how weird the outfits are in this game. Capsule monsters? But yeah, you can buy items here. You've got a fair bit of money if you really want to stock up on things, especially like regular potions even worthwhile when you're already at level 25. Should Overwatch have played into the adult market, or the adult aspect? I'm not too sure if they should have, but I think the biggest problem with Overwatch is that they did not put an effort into gameplay after like keeping it up as a service. I'm not saying games need to be continually kept up as a game as a service like that, but they put all their effort into making a big competitive league and all this stuff, and then they made the game worse and worse for more casual players because it was like, oh no, you've got to compete in all the esports stuff. Esports is where the big money is. And certainly it attracts people if you get people interested in it, but like, you can't alienate people, and they alienate a lot of people. Never mind as well that many of the characters they introduced were just not fun for the lower people. I remember when Brigitte came out, and it was just like, nah. Doomfist came out, and nah. Yeah, well, yeah, esports is too quick. Esports comes and goes, and not everyone is going to be Counter-Strike, because Counter-Strike was an esport well before even Valve was caring about it. Like, same with Defense of the Ancients. It's just like, I think they saw League of Legends, and then everyone went, oh, I can compete with that. And the answer is, you can't. You can't necessarily compete with that. Oh.
I guess you're a traveling trainer. I like what I see in your expression. F you. I have a feeling I may see you again somewhere.
Old person. Listen, person who's always blowing in the wind. Oh my goodness, no wonder why people love this guy. Because he couldn't get a job anywhere else. He can walk though.
You must be travelers. Welcome to Phoenix City. I am Escade, the mayor. Now you wanted to see me. Is there something I may be able to assist you with? Oh, what may I do for a pretty young lady like you?
I saw it. The Iblis trigger.
Saw it? What did you see?
I saw a peculiar Pokemon. No, that's not quite right. What I saw was a Pokemon that gave off a black aura. It was like a fighting machine. And that Pokemon would attack people.
Oh my, Pokemon like a fighting machine, and it attacks people. Now, if that were true, that would be truly frightening. However, it is a little hard to believe.
It's true, Mr. May, because I saw that Pokemon always made the prisoner of some frightening men until just a little while ago. I punched the microphone, sorry.
I see, I understand. I will order an investigation at once.
You will, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, no, there is no need for that, thanks. We mustn't allow thugs to do as they wish, especially thugs that endanger a pretty young lady like you. I'll ask that you give me a little time on this matter. I promise we will get some useful information. He's really got nothing to do, does he? Visit our stadium. It's a breathtakingly beautiful stadium, befitting our oasis city.
Okay, sure, man. Sure. But yeah, no, I remember when Valve, yeah. And it's weird, again, TF2, it used to be better. Anytime that you see anyone, like, really harken back to ye olde TF2 days, I'm like, no, they fixed up a bunch of fun stuff. But then, yeah, when they made the items a bit less fun, and in particular, they stopped caring about adding lots of wackier items and sort of zanier game modes and focus entirely on making the Ullapool Caber not a one-trick, wonder kind of item because it's wacky and the casual people love that kind of stuff. Look at all this, like, negative space going on. Like, obviously, you can't move the camera, but it's just like, yeah, like, it's curious that you can wander over there. You can wander in here as well. Hi, welcome to the pre-gym. Okay, sure, yeah. I don't remember. Ah, there we go.
One does not simply become a good trainer simply by battling without strategy. You have to think.
Are you listening on my class? You didn't even pay for tuition. I've added the strategy memo. Wow. So now I guess we got the strategy memo. What was the strategy memo? It let you see oh, it's a Pokédex, yes. It's just the strategy memo. It's kind of fun seeing your Pokemon here. You get to see the types. Get the cries, you can look at them, see how big they are. A 4-hour-long video on the history of TF2. I feel like part of it is you had to be there, and also part of it is you just had to be in your own clique. Like, there are some things I remember, doing lots of, like, weird things, like surf maps and weird, capture the flag maps. And I also really wanted to play Hydro, and no one ever would. And then I played Hydro, and I went, yeah, it's a bit of a weird map. People don't like Hydro because, like, once someone captures the point, it stops everyone. That's the pain of Hydro. Hello there. I'm Justy. Yeah, sure. What do you think? Let me introduce you to the trainers. Okay, in we go. You'll be facing 4 trainers. Oh my goodness. I feel like 4 trainers is a big hurdle just for like the very start of the game, but sure, yeah. You feel like taking grass type Pokemon? Oh my goodness. Well, Sunken is actually like the worst Pokemon in the game, so we might be okay here. But yeah, no, I don't have any thoughts on Highguard. I love that its name is literally just like a synonym for Overwatch, though. It's just like, ah, yes, there you go. But yeah, I mean, I guess. In general, I hope it does well. I don't like being like the kind of guy who goes, oh yeah. There's a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon in this game as well, because I guess they knew that they were making Fire Red Leaf Green at this time, so if you ever play with Fire Red Leaf Green, you get the Fire Red Leaf Green models in this game, which is good fun. Like as in your character model is, that kind of character. And then kernel level anti-cheat. Oh, I hate kernel level anti-cheat as well, because I'm seeing more and more people start making the Linux jump, which I would highly recommend. Just like, you know, use Bazite or maybe Aurora if you're not the biggest fan of Bazite. I mean, they're all kind of the same. Or Linux Mint. That one's also good fun. The reason why I don't is, one, I'm still trying to figure out the quirks of capturing games on OBS. Highguard, I'd imagine. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out the quirks of OBS. So, particularly just recording all the audio channels, and then also... Yeah, I'll keep chugging. We're chugging good. As well as also, yeah, getting the, I guess, consistency of capturing frames like that. On top of that, it doesn't support my capture card at all. I blame AverMedia because they obviously didn't make drivers. There's someone has reversed the driver that kind of generally works, but it doesn't stop the thing from flashing all the time, which is kind of annoying. And it's not perfect still. It's a bit weird. I don't know if you could ever make it outlawed, because it's like, it's such a specific implementation feature that it's like, you gotta make a huge case on like, I guess, anti-consumerism and stuff like that. I agree, I don't like it. And I think it's a complete like zero-sum game to even have it in the first place, because it's just like, the reason why you have kernel-level anti-cheat is because you believe that people who are cheaters are going to invoke stuff that, you know, well, I guess they're going to run things that can't be seen by the process. So you have to get your game running higher and higher in the operating system such that it can become more aware with everything going on. Also on hacking, it goes both ways, which is kind of annoying, but as in like reversing kernel level anti-cheat could also be a form of hacking, so it's just like, ugh. I always know, what is it, section 1024 of the DMCA, like, specifically says you're not allowed to reverse engineer stuff for the sake of getting around copy protection, so it's like the process is completely fine except when you use it in this one scenario. It's like, oh, okay. The average person doesn't understand. Oh, yeah, the average person doesn't understand. The average person does understand when Steam detects that they don't have kernel-level anti-cheat enabled, and it shows up on the store page saying, you don't have it enabled, this game won't work unless you do stuff. I think that is actually a good deterrent for sales, and I'm glad Steam does that, because you can't detect that from a web browser. So you can't tell it on a web browser standpoint. You have to effectively inject it from, you know, from that kind of level. Objectively, it is compromising, yes. It is certainly compromising the system. I'm pretty sure we've had a backdoor. I think we've had, like, some sort of backdoor. I think through Punkbuster in particular, which isn't kernel level, but it is still, like, it's an aggressive form, you know, like running something on your system at all times in order to, you know, detect that someone isn't doing something bad. At the end of the day as well, I just want to say, the zero-sum, like, problem is that we now have people doing cheats that is purely based on the visual output of the game and, or their memory watching. They're literally sideloading the memory and watching for things. So they're effectively running cheat engine on a completely separate computer that you cannot detect because RAM is not very easy to, or even, I don't even know if you can add something to effectively, like, disturb the process of RAM. I know you can add chips on RAM modules, which is obviously how they do it, and you can sort of sideload out of that, but yeah, how does the main program know that it's the subject of that? I don't think it can. And then, yeah, if you can just do everything as the inputs, through just mouse and keyboard, or, you know, controller or whatever, like, you know, the game is expecting. But they're not doing anything weird in terms of sending weird packets. You know, really the cheats are undetectable at that point. A visual novel, sim racing sim. Nabino X style. Okay. I was gonna say I've got some topics of my own today, because I do want to get through some stuff. I had some stuff post-CES to talk about, and then I forgot for 2 weeks. Because Gex is Gex. Gex is very Gexy. I like how all these battles are just happening. I'm just like, nah, just beat up these, like, fairly basic Pokemon. And your leeway is the fact that, like, Espeon and Umbreon are remarkably good Pokemon, so that's why they're rocking through this. What type would Gex be? Lizards are sometimes water and sometimes bug. And it's kind of weird, because it's like, I don't really think they fit. And sometimes dragon. Yeah, dragon maybe. I'm gonna keep chugging. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm a chugging person. Beating up school kids for a living. Yeah, grass type, maybe. Originally, during the localization of Tomb Raider 1, the publisher wanted Lara's design to be changed for the Japanese audience. They did the Spyro the Dragon treatment. Now, Rhyhorn here could be a bit of a doozy, because you know what? It's actually been a bit of a lost art on me of what exactly is super effective against what anymore. I feel like Bite is fine, so I'm gonna rely on Helping Hand. And I would be curious to see anime Lara Croft, you know, like what's going on there. I want to get rid of this Rhyhorn because he's probably a bit of a doozy. And noting that Geodude is raising its defense, so I should be using Confusion instead. So hold on, Bite Rhyhorn, and then we're gonna confuse Geodude. Lada-chan. Oh no, I've completely blanked out. It's like, I've completely forgotten my type charts though, I tell you. I really do not know my type charts off the top of my head anymore. I used to when I was younger. Nowadays it's just like, I don't know, man. It's very curious, yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of redesigns, yeah, I remember the second to fifth ones generally, but then it's like, oh, I gotta remember things. I know Fairy type was added onto it. It doesn't change anything about the existing types, I think. The problem is that when you look up type charts, they get confused with like abilities like Levitate and other sorts of Pokemon like that. That was it, right? I beat everyone up. Whoa, that was inspiring. You showed me a great battle. It deserves a gift. A white herb. Yeah, Steelmire lost some. You don't have a full party of 6 yet. When you get 6 of them, I'd like you to come see me again. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that was some good, easy experience, though. Steel used to be a very overpowered type, and it's weird after playing, was it Mariomon for a bit? It's like there's so many Steel types. I'm at this weird point in Mariomon where nothing exactly feels amazing. It's something weird. It's like, I think all the Pokemon... There's not that many special attackers in Mariomon. So it's just like, I'm a bit caught out there. I'm like, oh... Yeah, let's wander up here. Let's see all these fellas. This kid! Yeah, looking after me right now. Hi there. This town was peaceful before, but lately it's been turning rougher. It's because of the thugs that live in Pyrite Town, which is the next town over. They've been showing up here. I don't want to have anything to do with them. Let sleeping dogs lie. That's what I say. He used a semicolon in the sentence. At one point, Fatboy Slim was so short on money, he reluctantly made a soundtrack for a Smurfs game on Atari ST. It's always weird when you have a soundtrack that's unused. I always know the Sting doing the music for The Emperor's New Groove, which never really happened. People wearing hats indoors. Also, I see this guy hiding back here. I'm not good at schoolwork, but I'm pretty hot stuff at Pokemon battles. Let's duke it out. Okay, sure. I love these roller boys. And there they go. He's got Wurmple and Silcoon. I guess Silcoon is statistically a little bit stronger than Wurmple. When you're level 25, you probably got an okay moveset on him. Yeah, it is curious. Actually, it'd be weird for how is Fatboy Slim like running out of money like that though? Because I would have imagined, you know, what's the album? You're Gonna Go Far, Kid? I would have imagined that was a really well-selling album. No, they're not as random as they'd be now, no. Yeah, see, he's got a bit of beef to him. But unfortunately he keeps flinching. He hasn't got the attack there. Also, I know Espeon's got return, which would actually be a fairly alright move. I mean, I don't find that surprising that he's not too knowledgeable on technology. Like, it just depends, I guess, on the space. There's so many video game developers who just don't know much about computers, for example. And maybe they don't know much about music. And then maybe a lot of people who know about stuff about computers, but it's like, yep, tell me about video games, I got no clue. There's a fairly good overlap, though. TM41. Just remember, it's old school Pokemon. Those TMs are one-time use, so I don't know how good Torment would be in a single-player game, but sure, yeah. Is that a debacle? Earthworm Jim's creator is a very wild guy. Did you know? Isn't it amazing? Yes. No. Oh, they say that Team Snaggin's hideout was blown up. Who could have done such a thing? I should probably save just because I did a battle, technically. I know the expectation coming up. I know. Yeah, the only thing that's kind of like iffy about TMs is that given that they're one-time use, it locks you into a Pokemon team and or a playstyle. And that is if they are good. There's a lot of times when you'll kind of just, you know, the game doesn't tell you what, you know, level your Pokemon have to be to learn stuff. So you'll generally just wing it out anyways, and then they're going to be high level anyways. So I think everyone loves the current kinds of methods where TMs are just permanent things that you can teach now. You know, you don't one-time teach them. So they pace them out throughout the game a bit. There was that brief moment when they had TRs in 5th gen, where they had one-time use versions, which were often repeatable. Welcome to Fenix Stadium. This is where we register trainers for battles. But we already started, so... tisk tisk. Oh, yeah? Well, it started, so... There was an article about Earthworm Jim the past week. Jim himself is based on a video game journalist. An editor for Game Fan. Oh, okay. Why have a tournament? Also, where is all this water coming from? It's all over the place. Wow. Oh.
Hey, Biendeo, we finally found you, you filthy double-crossing traitor. Reckon the hideout wasn't good enough for you, so you rip off the snag machine. You've got some nerve.
Who are these people, huh? Are they Team Snag'em? What do they mean by traitor? Biendeo, you mean?
That's right, I'm a bad boy, girl. What's up, Tom?
He's from Team Snag'em, just like us, but he's no ordinary member. He's a snagger. He's the best in Team Snag'em at snaggering Pokemon without fail.
No way, is this true, Biendeo?
Nah.
Oh, you gritted your teeth, didn't you? Didn't you? That must be true.
Oh. I thought you could spot shadow Pokemon, not freaking liars.
Give back the snag machine you ripped off from the hideout.
True. He's got the frosted tips.
Your snag machine's built for trainers. When a trainer puts on the snag machine on, their Pokeballs are converted. Ordinary Pokeballs are turned to snag balls that can steal Pokemon from their trainers in battle. Hey, you blabbermouth, keep that stuff secret.
They all have the same... Listen, they're all got the same character model. They're just triplets. They're all bald as well. Point out every bald character.
Creeps? What do you mean by creeps? Yeah, this is getting us nowhere. If you won't give it up willingly, we'll take it back by force.
I'd be waking up. Yeah, trainers block the ball, and it still is a thing for a while until they started saying, yeah, no, there's a time and place for everything. You can't use that. And isn't Sonic Mania loosely based off the Sonic CD, like the Steam version? There was a somewhat more recent Steam version, which was, I think, based off the iOS games. Yeah, rip the Master Balls if you use it like that. I'm amazed Corfish copped it like that. I didn't have an exploit for when I played Pokemon Sapphire, and I feel a little bad that I didn't really have one. I think I didn't. I had a little one, I think. But it wasn't as good as the Pokemon Gold one. I really don't know any exploits in this one. But yeah. I mean, I always feel like I played a lot of Pokemon. I hadn't played a lot of other JRPGs in particular. I feel like I'm really getting to that good point now. I've played a lot of really solid JRPGs recently, and I want to mention that I did finish Xenosaga 3 after like a year. I think I started the first game in March. And I finally got all the way to the end of the third one. They're not like too long, but they're all about 30 or 40 hours. And it's a lot of cutscenes. It's a lot of just listening and watching people. And it's a very interesting venture to play through all these games. So they're not Let's Play material. They're not stream material because it's just like, oh, you're just watching stuff. But they're very grandiose in their ambition, and I love the connection. They're very pure in terms of RPG. Lots and lots of story, lots and lots of character-driven development, character-driven connections. The first game's got a fair bit of abstract boss fights and things like that, where you're just fighting a blob. You go in a place and you're fighting a big blob. It's like that big blob represented a threat, I guess. Some villain who, can't be knocked out just now spawned this big blob. You need to defeat the big blob. There's a bit of that. But especially as well after playing Xenogears, it's a curious spiritual sequel where it's got a handful of the same kinds of concepts and mechanics, and slowly that evolved into a more standard RPG by the end of it. So Xenosaga 3 doesn't have this kind of dynamic turn-based system and all that. Well, sorry, how do I say dynamic? As in, you used to have to build up combos and stuff in the first two games, and same with Xenosaga. Sorry, Xenogears. But the third game is just like, ah man, you just attack, or use your magic, or use a technique, or use an item. I really don't have anything. You're a cute guy. Oh my goodness. I like how I just completely blanked out on the shopping for Pokeballs part, so I'm just like, oh, thank you game for reminding me about that one. I guess because they told you about the thing. So now you go to the store and suddenly his store now doesn't contain Pokeballs? Unless they said it was from the... Maybe it's from the store outside. I forgot about the chat. Okay, I just went. I didn't forget about the chat. I'm reading it. I'm just not reading it out loud. N64 cartridge album is a very weird choice, though. Okay, hold on. You gotta tell me about... I don't have a Pokemon own. Okay, tell me about Pokeballs. Oh, I haven't seen any. But they might sell them at the outskirts town. I don't know the band, though. I don't listen to a lot of death metal, although I say that and I saw Opeth, so... how different... It's all double battles, and on top of that, you only get Pokemon by stealing them off people. Which we haven't gotten into yet, but we'll get there very shortly. Hi there. Some rough-looking characters came around asking about you. It made me worried. Those guys, they look like they're from Team Snag'em. Good thing I don't look like I'm from Team Snag'em. Somehow. It's a very curious character model. It's kind of weird even playing a guy who is a bad guy. I want to stock up on supplies. I can ask you something, don't you sell any Pokeballs? Well, Pokeballs, you say? There's no call for those things around these parts. Where'd I put them now? Oh, yeah, they are. I just have them for free. What the heck, man? It's okay to steal... Oh, exactly. The evil. who's got more Pokeballs, but he only gave you that many to start off. You know how this game works. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I think if you buy 10, do you get the Premier Ball? Yes. But they're always mean with the Premier Balls because, at least in these early gens, you couldn't just buy, like, 50 Pokeballs and get 5 Premier Balls. He only gave you 1 if you bought 10 or more. So you have to just buy 10 at a time. Listen, you know how Pokemon goes. You'd barely need the items. You'd think I'd maybe use Great Balls. But the trick about Pokemon is to be adamant that you can indeed catch something without actually using a better ball. Also, technically, your odds are, like, if you can survive the battle, your money's actually more economical buying the cheaper balls. Because a Great Ball only increases your odds by 50%. So, that means it should be worth $300. Oh, there you go. I caught a lot of Pokeballs. How cool is that? Argonauts heard the statement claims exciting announcements. I'm surprised that Argonaut's even back. A whole lot of scary men came here. I think they even saw those 2 creeps that took off in the truck earlier. Wow. Key to catching... Oh, exactly. Exactly. Pressing A, but no. It was pressing A right as it rumbles. That's how it was. And all of it is a farce. All of it's completely a farce. People have reverse engineered the game. They're like, yeah, no, there's nothing in there. But people love feeling like it's alright. Argonaut coming back, was it? I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. But yeah. What else do I like about Xenosaga 3, by the way? It's got some incredible cutscenes, though. I'm very glad. Like, if you want a more sit-down, popcorny kind of game, it's great. It's got all the great hallmarks of a good space opera. I've forgotten this guy's voice.
Master Mirror B, it's him! It's him! He's the one that took the girl from us!
Oh, now you boys... aren't you boys frightfully pathetic? You mean to tell me you were bested by these darling infants? Darling, did you say your name was Biendeo or something? I so don't like saying this, but we're not at liberty to keep your lady friend at liberty.
You double liberty that sentence.
That sweet young thing, she can see things that ordinary people aren't supposed to see. That just will not do for what we're planning to do. No, it just won't do at all. If you don't like pain, like most people, you can avoid the pain by keeping your nose out of places it needn't be.
Oh my goodness.
Boys, oh boys.
Yes, we will.
Boys, I shall make my return to Pirate now. Do remember that I'll be waiting for you to return with the little lady. Am I making myself clear? I won't accept failure from you again, boys. Whoa. Let the music spin. Let's get it on.
Really always... It's a very curious character. These guys are just chilling. They're just doing what they're doing.
You. The last time you caught me off guard.
That's not going to happen again. That's right, we're fighting him again. Why not? But he's a peon of Mirror B now. He's not just a grunt. And here we go. Another Pokemon fight, but this time he's got a Lotad. They're still keeping it fairly easy on us. So I assume... Let's be honest, probably gonna die. Actually, you know what? I don't think anything has exploited the type weakness so far. Models have found a way to unlock previously thought impossible performance out of a certain models of the PS3. I thought you could do some real incredible stuff with the PS3, but it's just that a lot of... Oh my gosh, also custom firmware using a Raspberry Pi, hardware RAM injection. Okay. I'm curious, like, whether it's something that can transliterate games into something that just works better with the same hardware, which is a curious way of going about it, but... I mean, if they're just using Raspberry Pi Pico, like, what does that mean? That's... They're doing the, Model then shows the PS3 Super Slim. Okay. Yeah. Running an overclock is a curious one. I guess I'd need to read more into it. It's just like, oh, okay, sure, yeah. But yeah, what else do I like about Xenosaga? I did really like the character development. Especially across all 3 games. I feel like there was a bit of a rut in the second game, and certainly some characters get a bit more love in some titles than others. But I do think that the 3rd game really makes its stride in making sure everyone has something that kind of closes them off as a character.
My turn now. I'm not gonna end up like Folly.
Certainly, though, there are 2 main characters in the game. If I had a Pokemon, what would it be? You'd have a Zubat. There you go. Wooper. Alright. Well, I guess since we got Duskull, that's an obvious example for using Bite. Also Confusion, I guess, on the Poison type. And here we go, Makuita. A female Makuita. And she's very upset because I called her Muriel earlier.
Those jerks captured me because I saw that Pokemon. I could see a black aura coming from it. They must have done something to that Pokemon.
And then it proceeds to punch you.
I hate to say this, but there's no other choice. Get that Pokemon back from the bad guys. Please, you have to. You can. Actually, only you can do it.
So I did read your message, the Banjo-Kazooie recompilate, or I guess it's a decompilation, I guess is the proper term. But then also, not only is it a decompilation, but also it's reworked for I guess a PC crowd. Now here's a question, I guess. How much can you hit Makuita? You can probably get him with a return. I don't suppose my my friendship is like that high, is it? Yeah, it's fine. We're not gonna go too aggressive because I mean they give you so many Pokeballs that you don't need to go that aggressive with dragging all their health down. But just a little bit is always good. And then Focus Energy, because everyone loves Focus Energy. Okay, and now we go into the items and we use one of those Pokeballs that I have. Technically, you can use multiple if you want to be the kind of guy who... Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind, you can't. But you got this call feature, which always feels a bit weird, but it's like... You'll see its use in a bit. Anyway, we get to do this cool throwing animation. It's like a hand, I guess. I'm technically mashing the A button. Nah, I mean, you don't need to try that hard to catch things in this game.
What? My Pokemon!
Also, $600. We used $200 for the ball and $600 just getting it back.
Darn it, but you're good. You snagged my Pokemon.
Hey, what are you saying? You're not supposed to be impressed. Oh man, what are we supposed to do? We got flattened again. Mirrorbeat's gonna chew us out.
What do we do? What is there to do? Run away!
Okay, sure.
You did, Biendeo. You snagged the Pokemon from that goon. But I'm sure there are others like it. Let's get them all back from the bad guys.
So I think... How many Shadow Pokemon are there in this game? I think there's about 30-something that you catch. And that's all the Pokemon that you can use in the game. There's no wild Pokemon, there's no nothing. It's all double battles. You'll see as well that we've got these... Also there as well. We've got a guy standing there. This is actually a curious choice for a starter Pokemon. You'll have the green, the red, and the blue guy all blocking the 3 exits of the town. But we can go to the Pokemon Center and one save to heal, I guess. And that will give me a few opportunities there. But yeah, what else do I like about the Xenosaga? Yeah, the skill system in the first game was kind of awfully confusing. I really didn't understand it very much. Made a lot more sense in the second game, but it was still a bit tricky to kind of work with in the second game. I kind of liked it, but it was alright. I think the third game is just like, it's very straightforward and easy to understand. It's basically you just get skill points and you just put the skill points into unlocking skills. You can just follow the tree as it goes. But the nice thing is that you do get to specialize in something that you feel is more your character or not. So I really like that. And as well, you kind of get tier list. Oh, like the games? I mean, it'd be 3-1-2. That's probably the easiest way to explain it. You know me, by the way. It's always the grass starter.
Do you have this idea that you could take me in battle?
Everyone's got a favorite. Second gen starters, by the way, I feel like are very evenly split in popularity. I think a lot of people generally always like the fire starters, but look at this. There's a Bayleaf. I love Bayleaf. Bayleaf is awesome. The water starter, yeah. I mean, you get a weird like third evolution level in this one because I think Bayleaf evolves at level 32. Croconor evolves at level 30, and then which would be now, I guess, wouldn't it? And then Quilabra evolves at 36, I think. I feel like I'd be throwing this a bit too early, actually, so let's just do a very standard hit to start off. So first of all, let's just go with a bite. Bailey's gonna have a fair bit of stat going on, so there's nothing too weird. I chose a blue. Yeah, taking out Grimer will be good. He's got another one on the back. But I guess the nice thing about the Shadow Pokemon is that technically you could catch it in one turn without actually fighting it. Spoink would be weak to Bite, wouldn't it? Hitting Bailey for this though. Yeah, Bailey's gonna absolutely tank it. Oh, snap! Body Slam! I forgot Bailey had Body Slam this early. I wonder if they're going a bit easy on me. Maybe they're very go easy on me on that one. Jeez. Well, let's go for a catch. He's paralyzed, so. Well, so the minigame in the third game as well for Xenosaga was really it was decently engaging. It was a bit tricky and it always takes a bit of time to understand. And every stage feels rather obnoxious and rather tricky, but first try, guys. 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2. We're doing good so far. Oh, Xenogears. I think I put Xenogears between 1 and 2. Xenogears is a great first third of a game, if that makes sense. As in, the first disc is wonderful, and then the second disc is like, oh snap, we have no budget and we want to finish the whole story. So they finish the whole story in one disc. And it removes all the mechanics of the rest of the game. It's just there to finish the story. So they artificially closed the door to the Pokemon's heart.
They say that if any Pokemon closes the door to its heart, it can be gradually reopened by battling together with it. Those guys are probably headed to Pyrite Town.
Okay. Well, we can start using these two in battle. They're both level 30. Maybe they're alright. I feel like given the success of both the Final Fantasy VII remake, the Resident Evil remakes, Trails in the Sky, Monolith has certainly been increasing in power, yeah. I feel like you gotta argue that one, though. You gotta get Square Enix on board, because Square Enix has the... where would I put it? I didn't like Xenoblade X as much, but I am replaying it at some point, because I want to play the Switch versions of all of these. I did like Xenoblade Chronicles, though, but I think I would really need to play them with a more modern perspective, because it's been like 10 years for both of them, so... And I haven't played 2 and 3, so I can't tell you about those. Oh, I mean, they've all got great music. Have you seen, I've only seen the Ferrari. I haven't seen any others yet. So anyway, we can head off. We actually have knowledge of this construction lot, which I find kind of curious. But the Ferrari looks kind of the same as it always does. They even got the weird HP logo that's blue. Whoa, hold it there. This is a construction site. It's not a safe place to be. This is no place for tourists.
Yup, it's been a mighty long time. I can't rightly recall when it was that. I was last at home. But we're just about done here. We just gotta clean up.
You can't go in just yet. Red Bull? Yeah, I gotta check out the other liveries. Are all of them available to see? Or because I remember Sauber was so like resistant to showing theirs off, and they actually didn't show it off until after preseason testing. Basically, it was the first time we saw it. Not last year. Yeah, I'm not counting Xenofreaks or Xenosaga 1 and 2, although certainly they're different. Xenofreaks, in particular, I hear is like actually where most of Ziggy's backstory is. And you get a fair bit in the game, but it's like, yeah, if you want like proper closure on him, you kind of have to play that game. Pyrite Town is a vibe, even though it's apparently meant to be a town full of bandits.
Aw, Mr. Johnson, give a man a break here. I keep telling ya, I don't know anything.
That better be true, Kale. If you're trying to con me, I'll know about it.
Mr. Johnson, sir, I wouldn't think about lying to you. You gotta believe me, right?
Alright, fine. I'll let you off easy today. See ya.
Look at that high trust society right there.
Heh, what a nitwit. Of course I haven't got a thing to tell ya.
There you go. Yeah, I think it might be fan translated, but oh, sorry, I've been so far. Oh my gosh, I've been so far through these Xenosagas. I'm like, yeah, I'll be cool putting them down. Love your biker. Oh, it is kind of a pod racer. I mean, it floats. Kind of a hover bike, and it's weird because like when, oh my gosh, like when does this game take place? Relative to every other Pokemon, I don't think anyone knows. It's not really been explicitly mentioned by any others.
You see, Chief, there's talks that thugs have been witnessed using strange Pokemon. Huh? Chief? You're not the Chief, I beg your pardon. I'm here, Johnson. That story isn't new. I've heard about it over and over.
Oh, Chief there is such a kidder. Okay.
My name's Charles.
Lawless chaos. Oh my gosh. They've been setting up an autonomous zone. Look at that fan. Oh, you know it's good. You know it's good when it prompts you with a key item. Prompts you with a key item on all of them. Oh my goodness. I've forgotten that there's key item keys. What? Not you two again. Listen, you have to promise. Don't tell Mirabee that we're hiding out here, okay?
After we blew our last chance, we couldn't go back, so we turned ourselves in for stealing that truck, and here we are. If we stayed here, we'd be safe.
Okay, sure. Pied Pipe, true. Yeah, I think it was somewhat recent, yeah. But yeah, no, definitely. I'd recommend the trilogy. 2 is a bit of a rougher game to get through. Certainly, you'll appreciate its story and where it goes. Mechanics is definitely an improvement over the first game. I think they all improved mechanically, but the second game, its presentation is a bit weird. And also, I really hate how weak the character models and, I guess, the lack of animation is. They really rely on, I don't know, it just looks so much worse than the first game. And then in the third game, it's like, oh, magnifique. Dude, imagine having a house with no corners. Let's come over juking. Oh my gosh, okay. It might be, but then you missed the first game on the DS. That's the problem. Oh, sorry, you missed the first game on the PS2. I'm so glad that there's news reports about the snag machine. The snagging machine. Good thing no one uses it. To be fair, you kind of cover it up. Like, most people don't see it there. I think. Maybe. Maybe they just have no idea what it looks like. It is 1 and 2 together, but it's also a decently different story. Look at this gear. Now, I used to hate this place because there's a... There you go, there's a Colosseum here. There's no Pokemon Center here, by the way. There's nothing behind the bookshelf. That's why, Monsieur, we gotta somehow snag them from those criminals. Ah! One source of water. Want to play house. Oh yeah, the scrap metal's great. Okay, sure. Look at this lantern here. Okay. They got all this natural lighting. They got a computer. They got all these books and things. I've come here way too early, haven't I? And Muriel is in the way. Listen, if you could get truly stuck, oh boy. Duking, how much more are you gonna take from Mirabee and his stooges? They're using you and the Colosseum. I mistook that, like, the screw of the table as, like, the thunk emoji, by the way. So you just clam up. I've lost faith in you. Listen, a man of your stature. It's silver. Like Pokemon silver. He's got books about Colosseums. Wow. Word for why I like the areas in this game. It does have a bit of a post. I mean, to be fair, it's not even post-apocalyptic. It's just when crime gets high. Although, to be fair, everything is in a desert, and also everything's made out of metal. Hi there. You're a trainer too. I'll teach you about one of the few rules. We have street battles rather than exchanging greetings. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Calda. Calda. I think it's just a desert scene, but to be fair, like that shop sign, it's so run down. But anyway, let's send out Makuhita and Bayleaf. Now, naturally, over time, even with all these Pokemon in your party, that bar will go down. It's like the experience bar, but it's not. These Pokemon also know a move called Shadow Rush. Shadow Rush is, well, I guess they call it a 90 power, 100 accuracy move that also hurts the attacker. It's a literal unknown type. It doesn't get affected by any type scenarios whatsoever. So just think of it like a typeless takedown. I don't know what stat it uses as well. If someone knows, please tell me. But, I mean, if you want to, like, wild your way through battles, you can. It doesn't have the Pokemon contest, no. Well, it's not Struggle, because Struggle doesn't do 90 power. Hold on, I can actually look this up. Shadow Rush. Here we go. Shadow Rush, according to Bulbapedia. They made the power 55 in the sequel, first of all. Yeah, recoil damage about 1/16 of the user's maximum HP, rounded down. The recoil, yeah, okay. It's not prevented by Rockhead. In Hyper Mode, which we'll get into in a moment, you have a 90% chance of the critical hit. Then, despite Shadow moves not being super effective against any type, it will still deal damage to a Pokemon with Wonder Guard. A Shadow Pokemon cannot be traded. Okay, well that's the easy description, basically. It's just that. Never sleep on the slack off. It does list the contest effect, that is true. But there is no contest. Think of it like Fire Red Leaf Green. I think it might... I don't know if Fire Red Leaf Green lists the contest effects, but it certainly knows of the effects. Ouchies. So then you enter this thing called Hyper Mode every so often, and when he's in Hyper Mode, he'll often just not listen. When he's in Hyper Mode, your general strategy is to call him. You call him, and it makes the bar go down by maybe 10%. This is the gutsy effect with having, yeah, kind of berserk, yeah. This is the gutsy effect of having to use a Shadow Pokemon is you have to deal with this, and it's gonna keep happening. And also slack off, loafing around as usual. Gradually over time, though, as the bar goes down, you notice Makuhita learn Focus Energy again. So he'll relearn various moves that I say he, Makuhita, is female. But your Shadow Pokemon will relearn various moves that they should learn. And then, yeah. You know, I guess eventually they become like normal Pokemon. Eventually. And once the bar, they don't become normal, they become eligible to become normal. So these first few Pokemon will probably be, and yeah, no more Hyper Mode once you make them normal, but they don't become normal automatically when the bar is 0. You have to take them to a place which we don't have any access to just yet. Also, Synthesis is a great move to have on Shadow Pokemon. Well, I guess one Shadow Pokemon in particular. I don't... For reference as well, this bar has nothing to do with the friendship. So the friendship is just going to do whatever as it happens. But yeah, some of these random battles do have Shadow Pokemon for you to catch, and some of them don't. It really just depends. But I like this game in the sense that it's nice and straightforward. It's a very well-paced Pokemon game from memory, I think. And the only thing is that you've basically... You got to deal with the Pokemon that come your way. So it's a rather curated experience, but they knew what they were doing. They were taking the mechanics of existing Pokemon and going, yeah, we could do something wild with it. And especially as well, I love the idea of using double battles everywhere. Because it does mean you have to play it a bit differently. So, anyways, yeah, I will just say with Xenosaga, I would recommend a playthrough of all 3. That's how the game looks, by the way. The frame rate just does its own thing during that move. He's hit with the recoil. Oh my gosh, he's in the hyper mode again. The 8-game marathon. I'm not doing 8 games in a row. Well, I kind of doing them in a row, but I've been playing other JRPGs in the meantime. Oh, there goes my Margarita. I've been playing other games in the meantime. I played through all the Phantasy Stars, like, not all of them, actually. No. Up until Phantasy Star Online, and then it's like, yeah, that's it. That's all I need there. Played Shining Force. Yeah, not as cool as the Trails Marathon. I played Ys 1 and 2, which was a single release. And I do want to replay various of the Dragon Quests, although I only played 1, 2, and 3 on stream, so who knows about the rest. I don't know how many RPGs I'll play in a year. Usually it's only 1. But yeah, here's the kind of annoying thing about Pyrite Town, is that there's no healing. Or rather, there is healing. Actually, sorry, there's a hotel. The hotel is healing, except they charge you 100 Pokebucks, which honestly isn't that much. There is a limited number of battles, yes. And what's really weird is that there's a oh, maybe I shouldn't be running this way. yeah, maybe I shouldn't be running this way. Let's actually heal somewhere else. But there's a healing machine in the Colosseum at the far end of town, but you can't get there right away. So you gotta brave going back and forth or paying the $100, which honestly probably the $100 isn't that much. You know, I'm already at $3,200. Maybe I actually could afford just healing in the thing. Why is it called a square? Ah, nah. Oh, you know Spirit of... oh, okay. But this guy still sells, or he doesn't sell Pokeballs. Maybe they only sell in one place. I'm gonna say yes to this guy then. Nope. Get out of the way. Sure, yeah. No, I keep it to myself. Yeah, there's a limited amount of money, although, I mean... Like, I guess in my case, it's like, how many Shadow Pokemon are there in the game? I think there's only like 30-something, and it's like, I've already bought 70 Pokeballs. I'm very set on Pokeballs. Also, fortune telling. We need to go to the fortune teller, of course. People call Fatine the mother of Pyrite. Her ability as a fortune teller is highly regarded. Why, just a while ago, she even determined where my wife is living since she left me. Oh my goodness, jeez. Find what you seek, be it an object, person, or luck. Welcome to Fatine's fortune-telling chamber. I am Fatine. If ever a problem clouds your brow, you shall come to me. Okay, sure. First video I find Sneebot Chronicles is called the greatest PS2. There's a... Okay, real talk, I found a video titled Xenosaga, the PS2 trilogy that people forgot, or time forgot, I think. And I'm just like, how did people forget about it? I don't know. It seems like it's a somewhat prominent game of its time. Certainly it doesn't really exist nowadays, but it's like, I don't know if people forgot about Xenosaga. Anyways, let's heal in the ultra gorgeous hotel. I mean, you don't need to heal that many times, I guess. That was a good sleep. Okay. Everyone likes a good old super obscure game, though. For example, I played through, what is this? Option Tuning Car Battle Type R or something. It's like the third game in this driving game franchise, and it's like, yeah, it is certainly a driving game, but they love their cars. They've really modeled the cars very well for a PS1 game. A late PS1 game, but it's still very nice. The tracks are not as exciting, though. There's a rhythm game, mini game where you play your trumpet. Play a trumpet. Now it's gonna be game of the year right there. So I've got a bit of a deep topic on what I like to call what is the point of media. And in particular, the case I want to bring up two scenarios that came up. So first of all was the CES coverage. Which I've talked about kind of what the big three, NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, talked about, which is nothing, not really much. There's a couple of things here and there. But, hold on, posture check. And a bike check, apparently. I don't know if you heard that one just then. Hi there. You're quite the hottie. Why didn't you lose that wallflower with you and be my sweetie?
Wait a second. Who are you to call me a wallflower? What about me makes me a wallflower?
Look at her. She's all serious. Uncool. I'm only teasing out of boredom. A guy like him, he's not much to my taste.
I'm furious now. Be a man. Stomp her down.
Okay. Okay. I'm inside. Multi-stream. Multi-stream. It's all good, man. But yeah, no, so I wanted to talk about, yeah, that's CES coverage. In particular, Gamers Nexus, and I kind of like Gamers Nexus, but certainly they got a quota. They need the money for making articles about the hardware that may potentially come out, or maybe not. There's not any new hardware releases. Case manufacturers aren't really releasing new stuff right now. Just in January, it doesn't happen as much. Coolers, other things like that. And so a lot of the main source of content for Gamers Nexus has dried up a bit. Obviously, reacting to news and summarizing news is great, and providing insight into that is very nice. But when the game, or when the hardware manufacturers don't manufacture any new hardware, they didn't announce anything really that new, what do? And the answer is, you riff on it. You absolutely riff on the fact that there's nothing going on. And I kind of get that, but there's a lot of Gamers Nexus's videos, including some of the ones on the second channel now, the Gamers Nexus. I love how I didn't get to... Because the worst part about hyper mode, by the way, is that you lose 2 turns. I mean, you could continue fighting in hyper mode if you wanted to, but obviously you want to call them and get them out of the hyper mode. Did that bar go down? I don't think it really went down. That one looked like it went down. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I mean, Zubat's not that mean of a Pokemon. Gulpin with Yawn is always annoying. Two tabs. I always don't know what Twitch feels when I just got out of hyper mode, bro. You know, maybe I should just switch back. Because the other thing as well is that Pokemon, Shadow Pokemon, they don't get levels. They don't get experience. Which maybe as well, maybe that's why I keep getting caught out. Well, maybe that is my problem. Is that I keep because I remember having a hard time as a kid on this game. And I think maybe the problem is, yeah, don't use the Shadow Pokemon. They don't, actually, I'm pretty sure they bank the experience. So they do get it once you get out of hyper mode, but they're stuck in the, sorry, in this one. Also, if a Pokemon ever falls asleep, you can, call them to wake them up, just normally. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Is he going to double wake up? Yes. Yeah. Out of hyper mode and also out of sleep. There you go. But yeah. So I like Gamers Nexus, but yeah, when you watch these videos and it's like, you know, here's all the news, and it's just them ranting about, or maybe more specifically Steve, I don't know if it's the rest of his company, but just ranting about the AI market and all that stuff. I get it, it affects him, it affects me as a consumer as well. It affects a lot of people, I guess. I'll focus here. Feel free to tell Lemon hello. There you go, mixed stream watching right here. There we go. But yeah, like when you tell, you know, obviously as well, I feel like the average Gamers Nexus viewer isn't particularly happy about particularly the hardware scenario after, you know, after all, particularly OpenAI buying all the memory and suddenly all the memory manufacturers just going like, oh snap, we need a stockpile, which means for the regular consumers, now they can't buy anything unless it's from a hyperinflated price standpoint. This also trickles down into SSDs and GPUs that also use this memory, not as much the other components, and somewhat it's a bit sadder, the other components, because case manufacturers, pre-built PC manufacturers, even processors are currently going, no one's buying them. And the problem is that people don't buy these parts when they can't buy the other essential parts for the machine. And maybe a compromise would be, oh, just don't get as much memory, but it's not getting half as much memory anymore. It's like you have to get a quarter for the same price. So I get that a lot of people are upset, including Gamers Nexus. What kind of man battles a frail girl like me without easing up? You're not going to win the hearts of girls that way. Might as well switch Umbreon and Espeon to the front, given Makuhita and Bayleaf are liabilities is the term. Also, what item does Bayleaf have on him? A Miracle Seed. Oh, that's a very normal item, isn't it? I don't know my natures off the top of my head, so you're gonna have to tell me if these natures are good, by the way. But the door to its heart. I always use the its, despite the fact they have a gender there. That's okay. So anyway, welcome to Battle Square. You can battle on Battle Square. Come at me if your life depended on. Oh my goodness. Battle Square is home to a lot of shadow Pokemon, I believe. That's right, it's everyone's favorite shadow Pokemon. Hold on, wait for it. Wait for it. This girl's very upset because it's Skitty! I mean, it's Misdreavus! So we're gonna make sure we get the Misdreavus. I flipped out, whoops. Every time I'm always like, hey, why is my input not working? This one might be a bit iffy because, how exactly do you weaken Misdreavus? I don't know. We'll just go gutsy, we'll just try catching right off the bat. Yeah! I wouldn't mind a catch in one go. Ah, well, it was worth a try. Misdreavus is always a weird one because it's pure ghost type. Also, big rip from me. So I guess, I don't know, we switch back to Makuhita on this one. So my problem is obviously if you bite, like you can't use. Oh, actually, you could use Psychic, I guess. Only for a moment. You know, making my attack go down might actually be a good move. But I still don't trust it. I still don't trust it. I've got Shadow Rush, which should be maybe more fine. Oh, gosh. Gosh darn heckin' it. West Party's got like something else beyond the Misdreavus as well. At least the Skitty's gone. At least there's that, so... Anyways, yeah, as much as I like Gamers Nexus, I guess the question is how much of Gamers Nexus's videos is continually lambasting the industry and all this stuff instead of like real journalism. And the answer is, well, there sometimes is real journalism. There's a very nice long video recently on the channel about about the Chinese memory market and how it's kind of emerging, especially given the wake of all this stuff happening. And that stuff's really neat. But yeah, it's like... also... I don't think my odds are particularly good. I think Misdreavus... Oh, I got this. Catch rate 45, which means I'm really relying on a very rough percentage right here. What's the point? We're gonna continue to catch this thing, dang it. We're gonna try and kill this Zigzagoon in one turn as well. Yeah, like, what exactly, where does the, you know, where is the cutoff? Oh boy, is this gonna kill Bayleaf? Oh, but the confusion might, in a hot moment. This is gonna be very awkward if I conk out on this one, after I say, oh, money is very plentiful. And then I proceed to cop it like this. Here's the thing, if I can catch this Misdreavus in one go, I'm set, but... Listen, I'm gonna have to commit with a bite. And then we're gonna have to wing past this, but... Come on. Don't kill. Oh, wow, that's way not killing. Okay. Well, hopefully my odds are a bit better. I don't think this Misdreavus can really hurt me that much. So I'm at least probably at a bit more of a luxury to take hits here, but... Still. Listen, all I had to do was hit him like once and I'll be fine. Yo. But yeah, I guess like... This is not necessarily to knock Gamers Nexus too high. It was close. It was close. Did you know if a Pokemon goes into hyper mode, call its name and its head will snap back into reality? Why do the trainers here have those strange Pokemon? I'm sure of it now. This town's hiding a big secret. Ah, yes. To be fair though, like, 3 of the Pokemon got kind of annihilated by the same kind of strategy. Which was getting Shadow Balled. Shadow Ball is a very strong move as well, may I just add. It's like an 80 power move, isn't it? So that, and it's super effective. It's like, you got no hope against a good Shadow Ball. Hit the save, just so I've got at least that checkpointed. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I don't know. There's a part of me that kind of feels like, you know... Should the media necessarily be creating videos and especially update videos like that, and then it's like, it is full of bias, I guess, in the sense of they clearly have an intention. I'm like a man who can come up with a quick decision. But you know what I mean? It's like having like, I guess a real strong opinion in a video that's not particularly titled an opinion piece. To that, I would then like to segue to Hardware Unbox. I always rip on these two in particular, that's just because I follow them the most. If I follow them, that means I like them generally more than the other ones though. Also check it out, it's a Shadow Pokemon. A Pokemon with a black aura. Knocked Out is a good one. In fact, a lot of the Pokemon that you get are generally good ones, so I think the secret is to just whittle them down. This Ladybug should die in one go though, right? Maybe not. Has Ladybug got, like, special defense or something? Jeez. And he's got Hypnosis, which is like, I like how Pokemon close their eyes when they're asleep as well. It's a very fun touch. Comet Punch, I believe, is the, it's like Fury Attack. Hits multiple times. Oh, we're gonna have to call for that one, and I guess let's Confusion Noctowl. Maybe he's got special defense. But yeah, I bring up Hardware Unboxed because they didn't really talk about the CES coverage that much, but what they did talk about was they made a video titled the RTX 5070 Ti. I'm paraphrasing, I'm going off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they're saying the RTX 5070 Ti is end of life or is cancelled or something like that. And the video, the thumbnail says, NVIDIA kills off the RTX 5070 Ti. That was literally what the thumbnail said. The video then goes into detail to say that Hardware Unboxed was very confused, that usually they can get sample cards for doing testing and things like that, and for some reason all of their partners didn't really provide, or they weren't responding very quickly, and this is very out of the ordinary, so they asked a lot of them, and Asus in particular, also say hi to Lemon, if he's there, I guess. But Asus responded to Hardware Unboxed, and the PR person on the other end said that I think the wording kind of feels like the RTX 5070 Ti that they were asking for is end of life, basically. It's discontinued and it's end of life. And saying that a card is end of life or discontinued is like, oh, okay. What does that mean? To me, I read that as maybe the Asus Prime RTX 5070 Ti is end of life, maybe it's discontinued. I think perhaps sometimes I see end of life when really it just means it's low stock, and I don't want to say it's low stock. Oh my gosh. This Noctowl is very temperamental. Remember when I said the Pokemon are not hard to catch? I lied, I guess. I remember it being either easier or I just was much more patient. Wingull. Everyone likes a good old Wingull. So yeah, don't forget he's got Shadow Rush. Don't forget every Pokemon has Shadow Rush. Every Shadow Pokemon has Shadow Rush, which means they can all kill themselves if you've got their health too low. You gotta always watch out for that one. It's very dangerous. But yeah. So they went into the video, not really blaming NVIDIA except for the thumbnail, which feels like that should be a summary of the video, effectively. You can't provide any misinformation in it, well, at all, really. Don't lie about things. And in particular, don't mislead people in the thumbnail of a video by saying NVIDIA said this, when in actuality, NVIDIA didn't tell you anything. And in fact, a few hours after the video came out, and a bunch of other journalists picked up on the piece, NVIDIA said, no, the 5070 Ti isn't running out. It is yeah, exactly. NVIDIA literally disproved the story within hours of Hardware Unboxed talking about it. To which then Asus also backtracked and they said, oh, you know, like, there was a miscommunication, or you might have gotten confused. We actually just meant it was lower stock. Okay, well, we got the confusion out of the way. But, yeah, like, I just want to add that, and to be fair, I think Hardware Unboxed, they clarified and they said they made the video after 4 emails with Asus sort of reconfirming the same thing again and again. So it wasn't just they got an email back and they took it verbatim and went, yeah, there you go. The Asus rep went on about the fact the card in particular didn't exist, or maybe 2 of them didn't exist. Also, check this one out. The fact that he's chilling up there. He's chilling. The worst part as well, I don't think a Pokeball works, right? Or maybe it does. I like how the Pokemon can't hit him, but my Pokeball can. There you go. How to spend the fly turn. Gosh. Maybe I should have used the Great Balls. Oh well. They're sitting up there. There he goes. Maybe I should hit him one more time with a bite. It's not listening because he doesn't need to do anything. There you go, but it's kind of low in case he's going to spam Shadow Rush. At least he's spamming Fly. It's something different. Fly is something different. There we go. So yeah. So did Hardware Unboxed walk it back? No. Not for a while. They issued a tweet, so they always do a kind of follow-up comment, so you gotta look at their comments. to sort of realize if they say something there. They definitely say stuff on Twitter, where they kind of double down and they said, well, Ace has told us this, so we're sticking with the story, basically. And then I don't even get their, if a Pokemon goes into hyper mode, its attacks become more likely to be critical hits. What a surprise, eh? Wow. Wahey. Am I getting lots of money for this? It's not a ridiculous amount of money given the amount of Pokeballs I'm sort of burning right now. Although, to be fair, we are stacking up the party right now. Do I really need a heal after this one? Like, I didn't lose that much health. Nah, I will be a little aggressive on this one. But I will save. I think a save between every catch is definitely worthwhile. But yeah, no, they didn't really backtrack the story. And in fact, you had to really know a lot of their corrections if you follow their channel by watching their podcast channel, their weekly podcast, where they sort of made a title that said, "Did we get the story wrong?" And obviously, again, hi, question in the title. It's not clickbait. It's just not answering the question until they watch the video. It's like, oh my goodness. Sup, person with a hat?
Do you feel like sticking around for a demonstration of my Pokemon's moves? I like your attitude. Feast your eyes on these!
Oh my goodness. Also, I guess we got a full team of 6, so in theory we could go back and do that kind of gym experience or fight that person again, but I think we'll wait until a moment, or it might be next stream, who knows. But yeah, like, I feel like there's a bit of, I guess, integrity from from Hardware Unbox on this one. Don't implicate Gamers Nexus when they weren't involved in this case. These are two separate journalists publications that just want to add doing separate things. They didn't involve each other in any way. And in fact, actually, these happen at decently different time spans as well. Also, Shroomis's little feet. He's got a little tiny feet. Look at these little stubby feet. What's going on there? Unfortunately, I don't think we'll get a Shroomish in this game. It's kind of interesting having a lot of second-gen Pokemon, in particular, like, second evolution Pokemon, given that we're starting the game at level 25 and getting into level 30s right off the bat. Because it means that, yeah, a lot of these Pokemon are already, like, fairly set. Because, like, Flaffy is already evolution level. But for reference as well, Shadow Pokemon, since they don't gain experience, they also can't evolve. You have to purify them, which we'll get into, yeah, probably next stream, before they can evolve. And that's, I think that's a nice, like, whoa. Listen, man, this guy has to get caught in one hit now. Not my speed, not my treats. Listen, getting paralyzed is like, oh, does that actually warrant a heal? It might. But this should be an easy catch, right? What? Are you kidding me? Really? Okay, sure. But certainly I think it warrants a bit of, like, journalistic integrity in the sense that, like, Hardware Unbox, I feel like you cannot say NVIDIA cancelled a product because one partner, granted repeatedly, but was telling you that they weren't getting new cards, basically. Weirdly as well, just to answer an earlier point, these cards are somewhat available. They're not, I wish the prices were a little better, but they're not that far off. You can get 5070 Ti's in Australia, and especially the Asus ones, for, I think, $1,500. They could be lower. I've seen them certainly as low as, like, $1,300 before all the stuff was happening, and I wish they were a little cheaper as well. But at the end of the day, like, you know, they... Like, if you wanted that particular Asus card, you could have gotten that particular Asus card. I think the content was just checking for other stuff, to which I then go, they always ask for board partners, and they never get anything from PNY. They always get Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, they always get those three. They you never get PNY or Inno3D or any of the other ones that actually do have cheaper cards. And I do wish, well, maybe not wish, but like, I don't know, man. You guys can probably spend a bit of budget on just buying a card at some point, right? Just to get your content out. Because at the end of the day, they still haven't made the content. They're making farming content to lead up to the content. Leber. That's... whoops. Skiploom. All my homies love Skiploom. All my homies don't like Oddish as much. And that's right, the Skiploom is evil as well. So we're gonna have to Bite of 87 the Skiploom. Unless he sleep powders me. Never mind, he's sleep powdering me. We're all doomed. And yeah, obviously, I feel like the second fault. Well, not that necessarily like not getting a partner card is a fault, but it's just like, well, obviously the situation could be a little avoided if you just want to be like, I just want to own a card. I feel like if a partner gives you a card, it's a privilege to get the card. Obviously, they want to put out the card because they think... Oh, sorry. And they actually said this in the podcast quite a bit as well. But, like, having a partner give you a card, it's like kind of like they think that giving the card to you means that they will get more sales. I think that's the equation that they're trying to pull off here. There's no point giving media free cards if, you know, it's not working out. Now, in Hardware Unboxed case, they made a big point. They said, oh, you know, when media give us the cards, they see improvements in sales, like this one Asus monitor that, you know, they gave out and, like, they love. The fans love that. And it's like, yeah, I get that, but, like, oh my gosh, we're gonna sleep powder for days. Jeez. Fortunately, I've got a full team of 6 now, so I've got some more backups in case these two don't hold up. Also, it would be such a gutsy thing, but I think theoretically possible to get through the whole game with just these two. Because technically, you don't have to catch any of these Pokemon. If you knock them out, you've knocked them out. I don't think any of them are actually forced fights in any ways. Or forced catches, rather. Not like how Pokemon games are nowadays. 5th gen Pokemon telling you off because you didn't catch Zekrom the right way. It's like, but yeah. Then the other fault, obviously, from Hardware Box is blaming Nvidia directly for the cancellation of this card. Now, if your information is indeed correct that Nvidia is canceling this card, one, every partner should at least, or generally many of them should tell you that. I think if it's just coming from one place, I don't think you could run the story. There's not enough information to run the story off that. I just don't see how you could make a whole story and say, oh, Nvidia's the one who's, you know, in the wrong here, or I guess canceling cards for the sake of whatever. Two, I guess, the 5070 Ti is like, and these people should know, it's based on the same, it's using the same die as the 5080. And one argument could be had is that if the 5070 Ti is going out of stock, does that mean that there are still plenty of 5080s out there? And the answer is yeah. So that implies to me that their processors are getting better and better, and they're able to pump out 5080s more reliably. Because the reason why they make 5070 Ti's is because they try making 5080s and the chips are too defective too often. And so all those chips that are not good enough to be 5080s, all the wrong bits have to be fused off, and then they go in the bin. Or, even better, if you can go, well, what if there's a card that's not as good as a 5080, but is like, you know, generally everything else? Well, that's what the 5070 Ti is. They make a spec that's, you know, just everything down a bit. The clock isn't as good, or there's not as many cores. In this case, they use the same memory because it's, you know, just add the same memory on. And to me, that might seem like a more valid explanation. I guess someone could also say, oh, but like, you know, people, was it the 5080 is just so popular, so they're just making more 50. I don't buy that, because they would make only 5080s if they could. They would only make 5080s if the 5080 was perfectly easy to produce. Case in point, I think the easy example to cite... I'm going to deal a bit more damage because this is not working out in my favor. My case in point that I like using is the RTX 3080, which was originally going to be based on its own process. There was going to be... I think it was the Ampere, I think it was the GA103. The 102 was used in the 3090. And what they found out is that they couldn't get that many chips succeeding in the 103 chip process. They had a specific chip that was going to be used for the 3080 and only the 3080, because the 3070 Ti used the 104, and they just couldn't get the yields right. And so what they ended up doing was they redefined the spec before release to make bad 3090 chips end up being 3080s. And it's a curious one, but the 3080 ended up being way better than probably Nvidia wanted it to be. They knew they wanted a card priced at a certain point, but they couldn't make the card to do that, so they ended up just having the offcuts from the 3090s, and they were pretty alright. And especially as well, if anyone had a 3080 12 gig, that card was insane. It was a really insanely good card as well. It was so short-lived, the 3080 12 gig, but I gotta give that a check. The name keeps reminding me of SteamWorld Dig, but I assume it's not SteamWorld Dig. Steambot Chronicles. So anyway, long rant, but I think Hardware Box probably knew that, and yet, I don't know. And if they didn't know that, if they didn't think about that, why? Like, your hardware reviewers, I feel like this should naturally come up at some point. Yeah, I do want to play the SteamWorld games at some point. I do like games that genre jump a fair bit, which is why I was enjoying playing through Shining Force, because even though we do have Shining Force, we've got various other Shining games that kind of jump genres a fair bit. I do know there's the one that's it's like an XCOM style game, isn't there? So for reference as well, we've been catching a fair number of Pokemon today. Time flies when you're having fun. Look at that, we've already got 6. So you can see them all from this list as well, by the way. In case you're curious. But also, I mean, we've got them in our party. Still rocking there. The heart is indeed opening gradually, especially for these two. And then these two just have experience bars. Wow. I don't know why I just initiated another fight with Lever. But sure, okay. Perhaps it's the secret. The secret to not running out of money is to just refight Liba again and again. But you know what? Actually, it's good to know. It's good to know that I'm not completely screwed. $11 and a half years. Yeah, anytime. So for reference as well, the reason why like I'm so like flabbergasted, or not flabbergasted, but like every time I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this game. It's because like this game came out early 2004. I think I probably played it in 2004, and I don't remember a lot since. It's been a while. I think any game, if it's been 10 years, it's a hard one on your memory. Part of it is because maybe we play a lot of games, but there's a lot of, like, there's movies, there's food like that, where it's like, I only remember the gist of things. I say food because there's some fun food places where I've eaten at, I loved it, and then I've said to myself, I don't want to ever go back there because it might not be as good the second time. And so I will save you the memory of enjoying something so good there. Which is probably a high honor, but it's also like, you know, probably not great for business for them. They would love for me to be a return customer because then it means that I continually keep buying stuff. I get that. But, I just got told we have this game in this household. Yeah, it'd be good to give it a replay. Playing things on a GameCube is, you know, I go very path of least resistance. I'm like, you know, emulating it's all fine. And then you get your retro achievements as well, and you can compare with your friends. I mean, you could play SteamWorld Chronicles if you want. Anyways, at least this person is always there for me. Battling fans are always welcome. In the world of retro achievements, I think I spoke about being done with Pokemon Warriors, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, doing the set. Again, it's still not released because we roll out in like 8 weeks. I don't know. And it's an unofficial date, so you're gonna have to double check on that one. Oh my goodness, it's a Pokemon. Wow. It's curious, he's only got 2 Pokemon this time, but that makes my life easier, I think. Isn't Quagsire very much a physical wall? Maybe. And he's confused, which is a bit of a gutsy thing to have on a Pokemon you're catching, but sure, yeah. Ouchies. Okay, let's see how we go here. But yeah, I realized I jumped the gun a little early. I didn't have the writers sign off on the set, so now it's all signed off, and I'm doing work on the DLC subset. I still got to figure out the tooling for doing subsets. It's a bit of a weird one. I like how I can catch Quagsire easy, but other ones are just like, nope, tricky as, very tricky boys. But I mean, I've got all the logic, everything all there, so I claimed it this morning. I think I actually just literally claimed it, and then I'm like, yep, I've got all the achievements and leaderboards right then and they're ready. I've still got to do titles, because I'm like, you know, I might as well put in the effort, do titles, but for the most part, I mean, everything else is ready, so. Confuse Ray, you know, honestly, like, I don't know how often Snatch would ever come up in a fight, and Confuse Ray is a solid move. Is Confuse Ray tournament safe? I think it is. I think it's just evasion or accuracy moves, so it's sort of no-go at this time period. Wah. You're way too tough. You know it. You know it. We don't need a heal on this one, but again. This is probably, like, the only point in the game where they front-load so many, like, Pokemon to catch. I think there's one more as well. And so that would give us a total of 10 Pokemon to choose from, which is quite a fair bit. I haven't exactly spoken about, you know, building up the specifics in the team just yet, but I'll show off what we've got going on after a while. We're still gonna fight this guy. Battle, so much fun. Pokemon battles for everyone. Battles bring me so much joy. Let's get started, little boy. Look at his boy. Who's the little boy? Lon, if that's your real name. What's Slugma? Also, Azurill, everyone's favorite secret 3rd gen Pokemon. I always love that one. Also Azurill with the slightly weird gender ratio, which causes it to change genders when it evolves sometimes. That's always a fun gag. Too bad Slugma is our secret Pokemon of the now, so... Also, Azurill is probably weak as heck. I don't expect anything out of Azurill. I should be using Reflect a little more often, because in double battles it's actually very nice to reduce the incoming damage coming towards both you and your ally. He likes jiggling, that Slugma, doesn't he? Ooh. And then you can't synchronize it back on him. Ouch! Oh. Also, that's probably a special attack, so... And that's probably a special attack too, so... Also, Azurill is secretly water type. Like, I don't know, man. I don't fear Azurill at all. Okay, well, Umbreon's a bit foobar right now, so we'll just, you know, throw the Pokeball and get it over and done with, I guess. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd bring up the 2 cases of media stuff. Obviously, these 2 Xenosites or Xeno Orgs. They're rather small Orgs as well. Listen, he's got a Azurill and Igloo buff. He's got no hope. He's got no hope. Isn't it weird that you could take out the Zigzagoon and the Whisper really easily, but once you get to Azurill, apparently it's a tricky effort. Okay, sure. I'm very hesitant in using Secret Power because I don't know what type it is. Maybe we should figure that out. What type is Secret Power? Oh, sorry, that's Hidden Power. Secret Power will just change type depending on what room I'm in. Also, come on. I don't know if you can, like, reliably even do anything with Secret Power in this game. I'd probably swap out that move at some point. Also, it's got Swablu. In for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah. So, we'll keep on doing stuff, but, I have my big laundry list of games that I'm still trying to work through, and I'm glad I finally got Xenosaga out, because that was the one I've been holding on to for the longest time. And yeah. Oh, I really enjoyed it at the end of the day, so... but yeah, no, I still need to work through a bunch. I've got still Hatsune Miku Project Diva 2 still to go, which is involving playing through the songs again and again to unlock all the costumes. And then also Rock Band, because I want to get some full combos. I actually feel a lot of pride and accomplishment. I've got 52 out of 61 base full combos. I don't think I'll get all of them, but I do want to see if I can get a few more of the remaining ones. And then also be good enough to Gold Star Run to the Hills. And there he goes. There he goes. So that's all these guys. Steambot. I don't know why my brain is getting mixed up between Steambot and Steamworld after we were talking about Steamworld Dig as well, so I'm like, which one was... Look at these dudes at the back. They seem like bad dudes. So anyways, we just need to make our way to the top. Finally, after working through all this place. You know, you probably could have just wandered like around the outside of this and not triggered anything here. I like all these signs that don't show anything, by the way. We've got this windmill. This windmill generates electricity for power in the Colosseum. It may look a little worse for wear, but it's still going strong in active service. Oh, for 30 years, I've spun these gears. Oh, what's with you, younglings? You want to spin gears too? Not to disappoint you, but this isn't a job that anyone can just pick up. Give it another 20 years, then come back. Oh, snap. I'm that age now. I'm that age. We've done it. It'd be so hilarious if there was a clock check and it checked that it was 2025 or later. That'd be an amazing secret. If you're a game designer, please do that at some point. It'd be an absolute gag. Oh, this bridge. It's scary. Take a look down there. It feels like it's gonna suck you right in. This crevice runs deep under the ground. You can't even see the bottom from here. You see, Pyro's an old mining town. Ah yes, an old mining town where they casually put the town on top of the quarry instead of next to it. I choked, I let victory slip from my grasp at the last knockout challenge, and it's not just once either, it was the time before, and the time before that too. If I wasn't a guy, I could cry. I don't know what I'll do. I'll go ask Pirate's mother. I'll ask her when I finally win that challenge. Okay. A lot of gears around, isn't there? Yeah. So anyway, after finally ending up in here, you'll be pleased to know that, yes, there's this. If you could have navigated to here, you didn't need to pay the hotel. But whatever. It's all good. I didn't get in time to make the registration. Sheesh. Was it Kale, the guy who was hanging around the town's entrance? We should ask him. He might know something. Man, these challenges are continually underway, aren't they? I used to always think that, especially in older Pokemon games, that used to actually be based on your real clock. Because you'd have that. You'd have that with the bug catching challenge in Gen 2. So, like, I feel like I was conditioned to think that this was looking at the clock and going, oh, you just came at the wrong time. It's just not open right now at time o'clock. But no, it's just a story reason why it's closed off. Hi there. You want to know if I have a weird Pokemon? You want to know that much? Might as well see it with your own eyes! So this is how, finally, you've made it this far kind of battle. He's got Ferret, he's got Ralts. Everyone likes Ralts. And by everyone, I mean no one. Dang it, Wally. Oh my goodness, it's Ferret. I don't really have anything to, like, annihilate Ralts, but I do want to annihilate Ralts. We gotta get him out of the way first, so... let's see... Just because he's got Confusion and that move is gonna wreck Umbreon's day. I say that as if Strength isn't gonna ruin my day. It's super effective! You know what, I just completely forgot that Dark is indeed super effective against Psychic. Because it's not nowadays. That's what throws me off. It's like, oh... C-Dot will not ruin my day. I'm pretty sure. You know, we could go in with some aggressive catching right now, I guess. I guess that could work. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Well, it's worth a go right off the bat, but, now he's up and at him. Well, there goes the Espeon. Oh well. That's okay, we still got plenty left over. But yeah. Today is the end, or not today, but, it is the end of, the month, because I'll be streaming in February next week. Yeah, it keeps happening. I'm doing a Nuzlocke. You can't beat this game with a Nuzlocke. It's way too brutal to be a Nuzlocke. Actually, you sorta could. You maybe could a little bit, but like, I think they did intend for your Pokemon to cop it at times. I don't think that's shiny. I think it's just got a weirdly bright head in this game. I don't think main trainers in this game are shinies. I don't think it does have the ability to release. You can certainly play by the rules of just keep it in the box forever. Jeez. It certainly has shinies implemented, but I don't know how they, I guess, appear in the midst of battle and all that stuff. It's probably worth double checking, actually. I can Google that one for you, and by Google I mean any other verb. I can search that. Ouch! Oh, the defense falling down is not a good sign. Pokémon Colosseum shinies. Yeah, this would be like an absurd subset if it's actually possible. A guide to shiny hunting? I don't know if you can actually... Oh my gosh, someone then sent the same message like 7 times in the replies. Oh my goodness. I don't know if, like, it can't be shiny until you purify it. I'm not too sure if that's the case. Also, Machop. Everyone hates Machop. Actually, I don't hate him, but... He's there, he's chilling, he's doing weird stuff. He's doing something with his hands. I'm not a big fan of that one. I completely forgot that Razor Leaf does hit both people on the other side, and I really hope it doesn't annihilate Ferret. We'll see. We'll see. Oh boy, but with a Shadow Rush as well. Oh, I'm cutting it on this one. I'm cutting it. I'm cutting it. I am cutting this guy in half. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Phew. And I do know as well that, yeah, moves that hit multiple people do less damage per person. Although, cumulatively, I think it still does a good amount of damage. Like, it's not just a straight, like, 50-50, like it could be in other games. I've got Body Slam as well, which would be great on the chop. Yeah, Body Slam. Easy. Gosh, Sydney weather has been terrible. It's been absolutely sweltering hot for the past couple of days. There you go. First try. First try. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised I haven't needed to actively restart anything. We've been doing solid today. He's getting pumped. He's getting pumped. There we go. But yeah, what exciting stuff is there to get, I guess, excited about in the next week, other than Highguard? I'm not too sure. We'll get some more F1 news, but the preseason testing is middle of February. It's like the 11th to the 13th or something. So I'm looking forward to that. Bah! I forgot what this guy's voice I did. That was it, that Lion Mirrorbeak came up with that fancy tough sounding name, Shadow Pokemon, but it was no big deal. You guys be careful too. Don't be playing for a sucker, that's about all they'll give you if you win at the Colosseum.
Shadow Pokemon? That's what it's called, a Shadow Pokemon? That Pokemon with the black aura.
Whoosh. Meanwhile, I trust things are going according to plan, Mirabee.
Oh yes, indeed, Master Nazgul. Our plan is coming along in a lovely, peachy keen way. We have already broken Juking's spirit. We can do as we please at the Colosseum without us meddling. We've been giving away Shadow Pokemon on the sly to challenge winners for gathering data.
Good. The others also appear to be doing their parts to implement our plan. Our Shadow Pokemon plan is falling into place quickly. The final phase is not far off.
Whoa, this is perking up my spirit and body. Oh, I feel like dancing.
Save your dancing until our plan succeeds. I'm off.
Wow, the evil guy was evil.
Okay then, I shall make my return to the cave where my darling Pokemon await my return. Let the music play.
Here he goes. Every scene.
It looks like the Colosseum has a secret. I guess there's no choice but to take part in a battle challenge there.
We'll have to do a battle challenge. Why save here when you can save further up? I want to do something else now. That's all good, Tom. Have a good one. Oh my goodness, he's on the fence. Oh no. The chief's inside. Oh no. That Silver's gone too far this time. He ripped out and ripped off one of the gears. The Colosseum's going to be without power. Chief, are you alright? The only thing bruised is my pride. It was only Silver, so I wasn't expecting any trouble. But isn't Silver Dew King's trusted lieutenant? What's his motive for doing this? That's what I want to know. He was ranting about how the Colosseum can just shut down or something. Sorry to worry you younglings. Thanks, I'll be fine out. But I need to ask for a favor. Will you hear me out? No! Oh, now don't be that way. No! Okay. If the Colosseum loses power, the whole town suffers. I need you to find that people can't battle in an official setting. They're gonna have to do street battles. Well, I mean, we had a couple of places where there were gears. We had the one that's over here, right? Here is the gear. Nope, not there. Here. A gear. Oh, that's a junk gear. Oh. My bad. Sorry. That gear is only meant for people who don't know good gears. What about the gear that's all the way over here? Oh my gosh, it's a bit of a trek, isn't it? This one looks less worn, doesn't it? Nope. That's also junk. So one over here. Nope. Nope. I guess we're gonna have to peruse the outside. Do you know where there could be any gears? He must have been driven to desperation. Oh, look. That's it. Desperation. That was it. I think I actually remember where the gear was, which is a good meme. So we gotta leave this whole place just to show up at the construction lot. I guess it's not a hover bike, it does indeed have a wheel. Some guy came wandering by a while back. He threw out some trash and took off. What's this place look like? It's no garbage dump, that's for sure. Yep, it's been a mighty long time. Oh, he said the same thing like last time. But wow, look at this shiny item. And now I have to carry it this whole way. What am I, a postal service? Jeez. And then the side... That is true. That is true. It would be an abomination. I will say, the one thing I am excited about is Peter Gabriel is perhaps doing the same thing he did with I.O. in 2023. The front has no... Well, it's because the rear is so... I don't know why I'm wandering all the way over here. Oh. But Peter Gabriel's got a new album that he's probably making. How many songs? Who knows? It's not about where you're going, it's about where you've been. Terribly sorry, Chief. You're sure okay? Hey, up, I'm fine. There's no need for all the worry.
Good, that's good. But Silver, this is an outrage.
No, I reckon he agonized over this and did it because he thought it right. I can't blame the man for that. Enough about that, Dew King. Instead, I think you should look over there.
What? You people?
What do you mean, you people? I reckon you might be saying thanks, Dew King.
That's the gear.
You found it for us. What amazing luck. I'll ask you to excuse me for my behavior earlier. We seem to be people who are worthy of trust. You have my sincere thanks. Alright, I'll get you to slot that gear snugly back in that gap where it belongs. Okay. Gear. Wow. Let it roll. 30 long years of cranking gears. He is cranking his gear right there. Wow. This is the way it ought to be. There we go. You're a man of the sea. Hear me out. Nah. No, I've got no one else to turn to. Okay, fine. I'm grateful. I want you to enter the next Colosseum battle. I need you to win the knockout challenge and find out what is going on there. I can tell from a glance that you're no ordinary trainer. I know you can win. Okay. Okay, well, you might have a case here. But yeah, unfortunately for him, I'm going to have to postpone that request for a week, because I think that's a good place to call it. We've battled quite a bunch of things, I guess, introduced to the game. I've got 10 Pokemon now in the party. I should really look up how many there are, just so I know off the top of my head, but you know, I've got a solid number of Pokemon going on. We've still got some fights ahead, and certainly we are very close to 11 Pokemon. We're close to what could be considered as the first dungeon of the game, I guess. But, I mean, even then, like, Markuita's, you know, Markuita and Bayleaf are almost ready. Like, they're already well before you really, you know, you really get to that point. Noctowl here, you know, I haven't even used Noctowl. Noctowl's all there. Now, I think the ones in the box, though, will never improve. Yeah, they'll never improve, really, by being in the box. So you do need to bring them out at some point. But it depends on who you necessarily want to use. But yeah, other than that, we'll save and we'll continue on next week on stream. But yeah, until then, I would like to thank you so very, very much for watching. If you enjoyed this or you didn't enjoy it, that's fine. You can follow on Twitch, where there's a stream 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time every Monday. So when will the next one be? The second of the second. Very nice. If you missed parts of this or you want to see parts of it later, VOD will be on YouTube, as always, within a day or so, as well as all the other VODs are always there. If you want to see funny ramblings or painful ramblings or any ramblings, we can go on the Fediverse, where you'll find me at m.biendeo.com for all the good jazz. And yeah, other than that, you know, stay safe, eat your greens, don't stay up too late. Play Xenosaga, is a great game. I guess play what is it, Steambot Chronicles. Yeah, stay healthy, exactly. And play this game. This game's a good one too, so have a good one, peeps. I'll catch you all, how many weeks? This might be in the 5 or 6 camp. 5 or 6 camp. I think it's a decently lengthy game, but it's not like tons long. It's not crazy long. So we'll see how it goes. So anyways, see ya. Have a good one.